and I was spread really thin. So that was on me for not continuing to work with them and bring them more into the fold. But that is something that I do want to work on in the coming year. Also, I didn't get my Fayette Washington County affiliate that I was hoping to get, which again, you know, I have to acknowledge that there are some things that I was not able to do this year, but those are goals for next year. We did too, I want to say, we hosted the January 6th holiday party in the Southwest region, in fact, in my very home county of Westmoreland, which I think would have been way better attended if we hadn't had the biggest snowstorm of the year on that day. But I would like to thank personally Nate Romig, who did so much for that party. If we could give him. And I think too that going forward, the regional reps worked really well together, and I'm hoping that the next region reps will continue that collaboration. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nathan Romig, and I'm the North Central representative. I live in Center County, and similarly, we had a number of great improvements this year, but we've also had some setbacks. Some of the things that I think we did really well is we were able to do a pretty good job of running the Molten maneuver in the North Central region, and had a pretty significant number of candidates get on the ballot and elected, considering how sparse our region is in general. One that I think, while there's a number of different auditors that we can say got elected, and we had the numbers in that sense, one thing that I'll point out is there were a couple others beyond just an auditor position. In Lycoming, we did have a council woman take seat this year, and so we were really excited to kind of step up the ladder of the type of offices that we're running and getting people elected. That's kind of, I think, the goal that we're looking for in 2025 is to take some of the successes we had in elections, some of those auditor positions that we got, and see if we can get those candidates or other candidates to run for bigger positions in council seats in the coming year. So increasing our number of candidates and the people we can get out to the polls from that improvement that we made this year. We've also had a number of events, whether it's the state level events or smaller county and region events. I think, especially in Center County, I know we've had a real boost in events and number of things for people to come attend. So that's one thing that we really were happy to see this year and hope to continue on next year. We have had, though, like Jamie mentioned, similar affiliates that have kind of gone by the wayside. Potter has definitely kind of dropped off the radar and become less active. So seeing what we can do to get those affiliates back up and running next year is something that I think we need to focus on. And doing those events is, I think, the way that we can try to get people more involved, is getting people out to meet with each other and get involved, whether it's just to meet up together and do things together, or whether that is combined with election of activities and other things that we have going on. So we've definitely made a number of different big steps forward, had a few setbacks, and are looking forward to next year to keep moving forward and learning from our mistakes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. And then next we have Brian Goodnight from South Central.
Well, to kind of echo the sentiments of some of the other regional reps, it's definitely been an interesting year. We've had some successes and some failures. We too are kind of on the verge of potentially losing one of our affiliates, and my efforts to kind of breathe some life in some of our more rural counties have been, less than fruitful. But the counties that make up our backbone have been as strong as ever. Myself and other members, we've been involved. We put countless hours into committees and projects all across the state and even beyond, whether it be door knocking campaigns, call banking efforts, protests, fundraising, and even community building events that we've put together here in the South Central region. So it's been a pleasure to represent the South Central region on the board this year. And, I'm just really hoping that the foundation that we've put in place this year will lead to some really great things. We've got a lot of, strong members. The South Central region has shown this year that we continue to be a driving force for activism here in the state of PA. And so I'd just like to thank everybody in the South Central region for your dedication and your hard work, and it's been a pleasure to represent you guys. Thank you.
Northeast, Autumn Pangea.
Hi, everybody. So I'm here reporting things that are not nearly as wonderful as I wish what I was reporting was. Northeast region has continued to suffer from low engagement, and when I came in board, I think was it in July when I was brought into the position. I hit the ground running. I'm gonna put right out there that I stepped on some toes in executing the molten maneuver activity in a way that I thought was how it was done. So I'm working on mending those fences and doing better the next time to make sure that I'm not operating off of assumptions. But we've got 3 affiliates that are hanging in there in the region. We've lost 2 in the last year or so due to many various circumstances that might have made the news in some cases, being nails in coffins, and really unfortunate, but I'm picking up individual contacts along the way and doing the best that I can to get people who are interested in helping to drive things, and talking to some of our more seasoned members of the party as I build, a good little vault of ideas about how we can drive organic engagement from the community to grow our numbers. So really, really hoping that we have fewer emergencies that take time away from doing those growth-focused things. I really want to thank Lackawanna and Luzerne County and my county of Monroe, where we're doing everything we can to keep it together and keep moving forward. So better luck next year is what I'm going to say for myself. Thanks, guys. If reelected.
And last but not least, Peach Ward, Southeast.
Morning, everybody. I'm Pete Schwartz. I'm with the Southeast region. We had a few successes this year. We had a few successes and a few learning experiences. Number 1 success, Alex Bertram, Bucks County, winner of New Britain Council seat. So we actually did get a win. We had another win in Berks County. Josh Sloan re-elected to Bally Borough Council seat. Unfortunately, we had a couple of losses. We had, and I'm one of them. I was a township supervisor in Jefferson Township, and unfortunately, when you got a town that can trace their relatives back 300 years, when members of the family run for office, if you're not family, you're nobody. But I did get to learn a couple of things. We need more libertarians. And that's how you win offices. So in Southeast, we changed our focus a little bit. Next year, we're going to be pushing hard to increase voter registration with the big L after the name. That's going to be one of our goals, to improve the voter registration in the Southeast region. Our affiliates are good. Our affiliates are strong. I have visited, for those of you who are not aware, I'm only 5 months into this job. So we did manage to get some visitations with all of our affiliates. They're all strong. They're all healthy. Sorry to, for those of you who had some struggles, but we do have a strong Southeast region. This year, we're going to start pushing for some new ideas to help growth within the region. Just because we have every affiliate does not mean that we are done growing. We're going to start building some sub-affiliates, and we're going to try and increase our membership numbers internally within each county. So I'm looking forward to continuing to serve you. I appreciate everybody who has helped me, and let's knock them dead next year. Thank you.
Thank you to our region reps for all your hard work this year. It's been a year with the implementation of those new bylaws. But if anybody wasn't there at Larry Sharp's talk last night, I think he left all of our region reps with some parting advice that I think we should take to heart here, which is organize last and give your counties a purpose first. I think that if we head into this next year focused on not how many counties we can organize, not how many affiliates we can grab, but how many missions we can give to our volunteers, how much purpose we can create, what can we do to get people incentivized. I think that's the direction that our party needs to take. So all of you who will, hopefully everybody will be here with us again next year. I think everybody's lined up to be slated on the re-election, but purpose and mission over bylaws certainly. but I look for a optimistic report next year. Thank you guys. All right, we will continue on then. I think with that, unless we have any other reports, we'll head into business. All right. With that, we have the bylaw analysis and review committee, I think is what we ended up naming it. We empowered them last convention to review the new bylaws that had been adopted and give a report on their efficacy and propose some changes. So with that, I'll hand it over to the committee to give a report.
So over a year ago, a group of volunteers took on the Herculean task of rewriting the bylaws of our party. Their goal was to redesign the bylaws in order to contribute to the growth and maturation of the party. 1 year ago, after intense, robust debate with multiple amendments, the convention body adopted these bylaws with a 3/4 vote. At this time, our bylaws were still far from perfect, as all bylaws are, and so the convention body created a committee to review and analyze them. This committee was empowered to report amendments to the convention body to solve remaining and unforeseen problems, and were also granted the power to conduct another rewrite. Named to this committee were Justin Ray, Kat Myers, Ken Krawchuk, Allison Graham, Pete Shores, Kelvin Mingione, Adam G., Bill Cox, and Greg Deal. After a year of deliberation, a majority of the Bylaws Analysis Committee determined a rewrite was not required and is reporting a series of amendments to the convention body. While there are some aspects of our current bylaws that are inferior to the ones they replaced, there are also many areas in which they are superior, and a majority of the committee determined the best course of action is to proceed forward with the current bylaws and fix their weaknesses. This committee has prepared amendments to handle major issues with our bylaws. We do not think that these amendments will solve every issue in our party or with our bylaws. There are still plenty of ideas for improvement. The work of this committee was largely triage, to identify and solve major issues. This report is just the first step in the long process of improving our bylaws. We will not be reporting our amendments en masse. Rather, we're going to move each one individually so that debate and voting will take place on individual amendments. When we reach each amendment as an item of business, we will explain what the amendment accomplishes and its merits in more depth. But for now, I would like to give you a brief overview of each item so you know what to expect moving forward. So the amendment combining the executive board and affiliate council will combine the executive board and the affiliate council into a single board of directors, as we had under the previous bylaws. This will promote greater cooperation among our party leaders. The amendment, regional representative vacancies filled by those within the region, ensures that when the office of regional representative is vacant, only the affiliate council persons from that region vote to fill that vacancy.
Reese, real fast, just so you don't have to do you want to go up here and use the podium so you don't have to hold your...
Sure.
Yeah, all right.
We're almost done though, so. The amendment, nominations for public office, will add the candidate nomination sections from the previous bylaws to our current bylaws, since it is clearer and details the affiliate's role in the nominating process. The amendment, additional standing committees, adds 3 standing committees, fundraising, convention, and affiliate support, in order to give these tasks the proper focus they require. The amendment, limited committee representation, adds limited standing committee representation on the board of directors. Standing committee representatives will have the ability to debate, make motions, and have priority when bringing motions pertaining to the scope of their committees. However, they do not have a vote on the board of directors. Then, the amendment rename IT to IS Committee will rename the Information and Technology Committee to the Information Services Committee to better reflect their responsibilities. The amendment simplified recall language, as the name suggests, simplifies the language used in the section of the recall process. The amendment causes for recall adds that recall may only be used when individuals violate the bylaws and requires that they be issued a warning before a recall is initiated. The amendment, no candidates on credentialing committee, prevents those from running for party office or nomination for public office at convention from serving on the credentialing committee. Then the amendment's removal of Article 12 and removal of Article 13 removes the sections of the bylaws which are better suited for the policy manual due to their specificity and our need to be flexible with those policies. The committee hopes that these amendments serve as a starting point for our continual effort to improve our bylaws. We understand that these amendments will not perfect our bylaws. Their purpose is to solve major issues and pressures facing our party. We encourage every member to consider these amendments. Thank you very much.
So we've gone over an extensive review of the procedure about how best to go about this process. We have a proposed minority report, but for simplicity purposes, the way that we're going to proceed will be to have the committee move in each of their amendments. Once we have the amendments either accepted or rejected, we'll have the complete list, the completely new form of the bylaws, which will then allow, if the convention body would vote to hear it, we'll have the minority report be heard, and then we can put the two side by side, and the body can move in. If they would like to substitute the minority report, we can substitute it in for the entire replacement of the new bylaws. This way, we get to hear all of the amendments, which each of them are, except for one, are incorporated into the minority report, and then we'll have a side-by-side of the proposed amendments compared to the replacement. The replacement is basically a return to the old bylaw structure with the new amendments included into it. The committee is proposing to use the new bylaws as a base and then put the amendments into it. So basically the difference is going to be, do you want to have the new bylaws as a base or the previous bylaws as a base? And the reason we're procedurally doing it this way is so that we can put them side by side and the convention body can choose which one that they want. So at this time, we'll have the committee move in their motions, and then once the committee has moved their motions and we have a full understanding of what how the bylaws will appear, we'll then the convention body will then hear the minority report if they choose, and at that point we could replace the the convention committee's amendments as fully amended out with the replacement report if the convention body would choose to do that. So that's how we're going to proceed. Are we,
Parliamentary inquiry.
yes.
Would it not be better to vote to hear whether or not to hear the minority report first? Because if the minority report is not heard, then we can proceed with the committee report as we normally would without that extra process that you outlined, Mr. Chair.
If we proceed in that manner, my understanding is that we're in a bit of a procedural quagmire there. If you may help with my parliamentarian for 1 second. Yeah.
Because you don't have an you have to get to an apples to apples circumstance. And until you completely amend the first one, you can't really do an apples to apples
Okay.
comparison.
All right.
This is really
Yeah.
getting almost into heresy
Yeah.
section.
Understood.
I use that term very quite loosely, but until you have a fully amended and perfected one, you can't really compare it against the minority report.
So on the procedural point, and I agree with the parliamentarian, I think that the body will have the easiest time determining which direction they want to go if we have a full, as she puts, apples to apples comparison, a full proposed amendment as amended. If the convention body were to take up each amendment of the committee, we'll put those in. As that final document would appear, is what we will compare to the minority report, and then the convention body can determine at that point if they want to accept as a full replacement, as a substitute, the minority report for the full committee's bylaws as amended. So we're going to walk through the amendments.
However, there's if we do it that way, and if the body chooses not to hear the minority report, then we've wasted the time to make the current committee report that apples to apples. I'm saying we don't need to make it apples to apples if we're not going to hear the minority report, so we should vote to hear the minority report first.
Well, if we didn't hear the minority report, though, then we're just going to do exactly the process that I'm outlining, which is the committee's going to go through each of their amendments. So the question is, do we vote to hear the minority report now, and then let the committee go in to present each of their amendments, or does the committee just present all of their amendments right now? The convention body vote on them, and then we can propose a minority report substitute. Yeah.
See, part of the problem is minority reports are usually just for sections.
Yeah.
Because this is a revision, his is a revision, but the majority report is not a revision.
Point of privilege,
Oh.
a member can't hear you without the mic.
Oh, right there, Karen.
Okay, I'm really sorry to address the body. That's normally not appropriate for the parliamentarian. But normally a minority report would be like, say you have proposal 1. Usually a minority report will be like, I don't like that proposal 1. Here's a different proposal 1. So it's apples to apples. But when you have a minority report that's a revision, you can't compare a revision until you have a complete set of what the current bylaws are.
Then when we get to the minority report, then you would just vote to not hear the minority report.
Yeah, a minority report is not an automatic right. So once all of the proposals from the majority report, which is not correct terminology, but
It's
I think
just a
everyone
report.
understands it. Once everyone hears the committee report and dispenses with it, then a vote will be taken. Shall the minority report be heard? And Mr. Krawcheck will have an opportunity to give an overview of the minority report. And then by a majority vote, the convention will decide whether to hear it or not. If they decide not to hear it, it's done. If they decide to hear it, it gets gone through for additional amendments, and then the two go head to head.
Yeah, thank you.
Point of order.
Yes.
Would this be in order since this is not a bylaws year and his would basically be a completely new set of bylaws? It is not an amendment to the current bylaws, so it would be a completely new set of bylaws, and this is not a bylaws year.
Very good. That's a fantastic question. It would be in order because Ken was a member of the committee. And
But the committee voted not to adopt his.
Yes, but if the convention body votes to hear him as a minority report, then it would be in order. If the convention body does not want to hear the minority report, then it won't be moved in. But if the convention body wants to hear it, then he would be allowed to move it in with the majority vote. He'd present the minority report, and then it would be, because the committee was empowered to be a replacement, a rewrite if they wanted to, they could substitute in the minority report for the committee report if the body wants to.
Okay.
And unlike any other committee, because he's a sole minority report, it would require a second.
May I ask a point of information, please?
Oh, yep, is that not on?
Yeah, this one's done. That's all right, I can be quite loud.
Oh, you can come over here.
Okay, thank you. That's a good suggestion.
Can we get a replacement mic down here?
So just as a point of information, could I direct a request to the bylaws committee how much time and effort went into the bylaws suggestion, or I'm sorry, the proposals that are being offered, and also to the minority report, how much time put into that, so maybe
Sure.
the convention body can judge the, how much went into both of these?
So, hey, why don't you turn that off, and then we can adjust it back in the, yeah, thank you. So the committee was impaneled all year. I think that the first meeting was held in September. At that point, there were pretty regular meetings every other week, and then leading up to almost every week. The committee considered a number of different avenues, and I think the amount of time put into both of them, they were pretty heavily considered, both the entire, I would say, 3-4 months leading up to convention.
Okay. So would it be fair to say like about 5-6 months with like a heavy focus within the last
yes.
3 months?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then could I also direct a point of information towards the minority report about how much time was put into
I would say
assembling that also?
that would be
That's
in
out of
order
order?
at the time if we choose to hear the minority report.
Okay, thank you.
All right. With that, I'll give it to the committee to make their motions. Check.
Mr. Secretary, would you please present the amendment combining the executive board and affiliate council?
Oh, is this one hot? I'm going to replace this with over here. Check. All right. I think yep, there we go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. So the first amendment before the body is the amendment to combine the executive board and affiliate council. Members of the board have found, or the board of directors have found that operating as two separate boards makes communication and cooperation more difficult. Each board was left to make critical decisions without the valuable input of the other, which caused confusion and led to speculation about the motives of the other board. Already, the executive board and affiliate council have been holding joint meetings where members of one body are granted speaking privileges in the other, which has improved the effectiveness of the board of directors and enabled faster resolutions to disagreements. This amendment will reunify the two boards into a single board of directors. This will reduce internal conflicts, promote communication and cooperation, and enable the board to be as best informed in its decision-making by making sure all the leaders of the LPPA are on the same board, getting the same information. As for the particulars of reunification, with there no longer being an affiliate council, the office of affiliate council chair is removed, along with the position of affiliate council vice chair and affiliate council secretary. As well, the at-large affiliate council person is removed, as the representation and support for non-affiliated members falls to the regional representatives. Throughout the rest of the amendment, mentions of the affiliate council or executive board are replaced by the board of directors. Whenever both boards are given the ability to take a particular action, but at different vote thresholds, usually the threshold of the affiliate council is chosen for the board of directors. And there's many different instances of this. So in total, this amendment addresses one of the biggest issues arising from the current bylaws, which is the division of the board of directors.
All right, so the motion on the floor is to reunite the board, combining the affiliate council and executive board into one board of directors. Do we have anyone for debate?
I'll second.
Oh, a second. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Second's not required.
Oh, sorry. Second is not required out of committee. The committee has been authorized to present these motions, so we've already moved and seconded that. So at this point, we are on debate on the motion to combine the boards. Any debate? All right. Yes. Yeah. If you could name and county.
Nick Soselsky, Westmoreland. I rise in support of this amendment. I think we've learned over the past year that the split structure didn't work out. I think anyone who was involved state level, whether even committees, myself on the judicial committee, saw that there was a lot of disconnect that went on, and I think this is our best bet in order to bring the party back together, get on the right track, and get on the same page.
Thank you. And we're just for simplicity, we can stay here now, but we'll do 4 motions over here, and against motions we'll do at that microphone, so that under Robert's rules we can alternate properly.
Morgan Mogus, Butler County. I'm generally in favor of combining the boards, although I am bringing into question the point of having individual counties represented on the board, given that there's region reps. What is entirely the point of having the region reps if you have the counties? What's the point of having the counties if you have the region reps? It just seems a little bit bloated to me. I think county leaders should be focused on growing their counties and prioritizing their county's interests rather than spending every month preparing for state board meetings. That's just my take on it. I think it would be preferable to have the region reps, and if the counties have any issues, and contact the state party through your region rep. And if you want to get involved with the state party, you should run for region rep or join a committee. So that's my take on it, but I do realize that there's a lot of support for county representation. I get it, but that's just my take on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ken Krawchuk, Montgomery County. I speak in favor of the motion. I think it's a great idea to recombine the boards, and I just want to let people know that the minority report contains that very same provision. So if you vote for either one, you're going to get one board. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any further debate? All right. Then all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Excellent. The motion will carry, and we will recombine the executive board and the affiliate council into one board of directors. All right. Does the committee have a second?
Mr. Secretary, would you please post the amendment nominations for public office? Oh, wait, wait, my bad. Regional representative vacancies filled by those within the region. A page got stuck. The next amendment for consideration before the body is the amendment for regional representative vacancies to be filled by those within the region. This amendment requires that when vacancies for regional representatives are filled, only affiliate councilpersons from that region vote in filling that vacancy. Since only members of a region vote to elect a regional representative at convention, it makes sense that we limit voting and filling that vacancy to only the affiliate councilpersons representing affiliates in that region. Thank you.
All right. We have a motion on the floor regarding the regional vacancy position. Do we have? Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, Nick Soselsky, Westmoreland. Just a question on that.
Yes.
As the amendment was presented there, it mentions affiliate councilpersons. We just eliminated that. So I don't know if I'd like to amend it to read county representatives from that region.
Yeah. Does the committee want to have a position? If you want to go over. Yep.
While we did eliminate the affiliate council, we eliminated the affiliate council to not have to rewrite a bunch of parts of the document. We kept the name of affiliate representatives as affiliate councilpersons. So throughout the document, the affiliate representative is called the affiliate councilperson. So
Okay.
it works.
Okay, cool. That was my concern.
Thank you, okay.
Ken Krawchuk, Montgomery County. I'm in favor of the change, and also that's baked into the minority report, should we choose that. You get it for free.
Thank you. All right. The motion on the floor is related to the affiliate, replacement of the affiliate council persons. Do we have any further debate? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Nay. The motion carries. Thank you. All right. And if the committee has their third amendment?
Mr. Secretary, could you please post the amendment nominations for public office? Thank you very much. Okay, the next amendment before the convention body is the amendment nominations for public office. This amendment adds the candidate nomination section from the previous bylaws to our current bylaws. Currently, the language regarding nominations does not delegate the nominations of non-statewide candidates to the affiliates, nor does it offer any procedures in how to handle nominations spanning multiple affiliates or occurring in counties with no affiliate. Already, the Judicial Committee has encountered issues with the lack of elaboration currently in our bylaws. This amendment should solve these issues by clearly laying out the responsibility of the affiliates and the process for handling offices spanning multiple counties. Thank you very much.
All right, the motion on the floor is related to, I apologize, annual convention, correct? Or
Nominations for public office.
nominations for public office.
Public offices.
I'm sorry. All right, we have debate.
Thank you. Ken Krawchuk, Montgomery County. I stand in favor of the motion, and I'd like to point out that it was lifted virtually verbatim from the old bylaws. It is in the old bylaws. It's going to be part of the rewrite we're going to be voting on. So if you want it, there it is. And I am on the Judicial Committee, so I was there to point that out. And if, what's that?
Oh, yeah, can we keep the amendment up on the screen? Yep. Thank you.
Yep. So I was on the Judicial Committee, so we had to go through this, and the easiest thing to do is just to revert back. There was a lot of pushback in the JC about that, saying it's not in the bylaws, we can't rely on it. But what's in there is a fine, fine recipe that has been amended 1,000,000 times, stood the test of time. Nothing better that I could even think of, so I would say yes, absolutely, let's put this
Can we
in.
limit the debate to what we're speaking of and not interject about the
Hold
minority?
on, I will take you up, just let me finish. If the member would like to make a motion now, do you want to make a motion? Yeah, I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure he finished first before, okay. Yeah, point of order.
Point of
go ahead.
order, I'd like to make sure that we're limiting the debate to the items we're discussing and not interject future items.
So the calls were out of order. Well, the member has taken a seat, so we'll it's no longer on the floor. Thank you.
Nick Sosowski, Westmoreland. Yeah, I support this. As Mr. Krawchuk said, he was on the JC, I was on the JC. This issue did come before the JC, and as part of a question, and it was noticeably silent in our bylaws, and a lot of it had to revert to custom because we didn't have any real direction on this. So I fully support putting this into the bylaws.
Thank you. All right. Any further debate? Yes, come on.
I just want a little clarification. This is just saying that if I'm a libertarian and I want to run as a libertarian for any office, then it's the Libertarian Party that has to okay that?
So we have a point of information. Could you clarify who is the nominating party?
So under this amendment, For statewide office, that would be the delegates at convention, and if the delegates at convention fail to nominate, the board of directors of the LPPA. If you are at a non-statewide race, if you're going for a position that is within a single county, it is up to that county affiliate to nominate you. If there is no affiliate in that county, then it will be the state board of directors to nominate you. If you're in a race district that spans multiple counties, it is a caucus of each of those counties having one vote to nominate you. If any counties are unaffiliated, then the board of directors also gets one vote in that caucus. Even if there are multiple unaffiliated counties that span that district, they still only get one vote in that regional caucus. I think that's a fair summarization if anyone wishes to interject more.
Did that answer the point of inquiry?
Okay, so like if I want to run like in the town where I live,
Yes.
I have to get,
The county affiliate would be the nominating body there, correct?
Yes, and currently without this, it's unclear. It may be the state board, it may be the county. I don't know what the JC exactly decided on.
So on the local level, it would be the local county, if it exists, that would be the nominating body.
thank you.
Debate for and debate against. Are you for? I guess that would.
Inevitably, I want this
Okay.
measure,
Uh,
but I feel it has to fail to be fixed.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I guess I'm against.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Name a county, please.
Bill Barrow, Allegheny County. And I support everything we're trying to do here, but having been standing in the State Department Election Bureau with some paperwork and trying to make sense of what they were saying should have been on that paperwork, I wonder if the section of this amendment that addresses special election is specific enough to what we were told needed to be on that form, and we needed a actually printed version of this that we could Xerox. The state specifically said that, you know, you're supposed to open the book of the rules and Xerox the page, and the whole idea of sending them an electronic version evidently was creating issues too. But we didn't prevail, but I'm just wondering if we've done enough here to prevail at the next time. So that's my question.
I don't know if we have that answer, but you could propose an amendment.
I'll pull up the notes from that day and see if I can, but I think you already say that if the local body does not, then the state can nominate for special election. But it sort of dances over, how does the local body nominate for a special election? Because that form asked for a copy of the state rules stating that we had arrived at those candidates through that process.
Yeah.
And I don't think that process is lined out well
Very
enough there.
To answer that question, our bylaws, the current iteration, calls for a number of requirements of the county affiliate to exist. Oh, it's stuck.
There'll be two more.
I guess it's not coming out, but
When you least expect it.
one of those requirements is to have Robert's Rules of Order, the newest version, as your parliamentary procedure. So if the county did not provide for a process, Roberts does provide for a process in that way. So
We could take a Xerox copy of a page out of Roberts and roll the dice.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling.
It sounds like you have a perfect proposal for an amendment to our county bylaw requirements, which I don't know if we can take up this year. That would have to be noticed.
I think you may. There's not an easy way to do it the way it's danced around, as far as if the local doesn't do anything, then the state can do this. But there's nothing about what the local was allowed to do for a special election before that.
Very good. If you have a proposed amendment, I would hear it. And, but without one, I don't know what we can do at this point. Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
John Bird, Northumberland County. If you could bring up the second page, there's a section 7, where the state can override a local affiliate, which concentrates power in the state, which on principle we should be against. So I want to bring up that the state might have a problem with the affiliate, but I don't believe that they should be able to override an affiliate's nomination. And while I'm here, I also want to mention that, say there is a candidate that spans 3 affiliate territories, there is no wording that the state could perhaps be a tiebreaker on that, and that can certainly be an issue for, some races.
Do you have a proposed amendment or just?
I'd strike the paragraph and maybe visit next year to get the wording right.
Okay, we have a motion to amend striking subpart 7. Is that? Correct. Okay. Does everybody understand the subpart? We just pulled it down. The subpart was that allowing the LPPA Board of Directors to remove the endorsement of a candidate. The point being that the LPPA could remove a candidate elected by the county. The amendment is to strike that subpart in its entirety. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second to strike subpart 7. All right, I'll open the floor for debate on the amendment. We'll go for and against, but yeah.
Who was the second on that?
You don't need to note the second. Yes.
All right. Ken Krawchuk, Montgomery County. I speak against the amendment. Excuse me. Let me give some party history. Back in 1992, Jack Perry was our candidate for U.S. Senate. He went graphically anti-abortion, loud, lots of commercials, everything. And it went against a lot of what the party was standing for, went against our platform at the time, and the party withdrew the nomination. That power is what we're talking about taking away. On a local level, in Abington Township, we had a lady running for township commissioner. When the questionnaire came out, what would you do for the homeless? She said, I'd give them free drugs. What would you do for cell phone towers? I would bomb them. We withdrew our nomination from Truth. It was 1997. We withdrew our nomination there. I'm strongly in favor of being able to pull back some unprincipled libertarians wearing libertarian clothing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with a lot with what Ken had to say there. I think this section here, is that only talking about counties, or that's any
endorsement?
Any endorsement, which I disagree. I think the state party does need to be able to pull back in specific instances, like Ken said, going outside of the, or Mr. Krawchuk said, going outside of the scope of, like blatantly off the platform, or, commit some incredibly heinous crime or something like that. There are times that has to